I played dead to see my dog's reaction only to find her humping my hypothetical corpse. How do your pets react when you play dead? I like to play undead with my dog. I'll stumble around like a zombie and try to catch him while he spazzes out running back and forth. When the zombie apocalypse comes, even if they get you, at least you know your dog will be prepared. You know what's better than playing dead? Hiding under a blanket and yelling your dog's name like you're stuck in a well. Your dog will find a way to get you out. It's fun. We do this with our Pitty. He digs you out from underneath the blanket. Haha. I would play dead with my dog all the time, and at most he'd lie down with me. Cute. But it did kinda bum me out. Then I fell down the stairs and concussed myself bad enough that I sorta passed out for about a minute, and he howled and barked loud enough that the neighbors came in running. Dogs can tell, man. I had a seizure at night once and I woke up to my cat nose to nose with me, screaming in my face. My husband says he does that whenever it happens, which also wakes him up. I suspect if I actually were to die he would spend hours just screaming into my face, eyes wide, smelling my nose. If my husband is present, he'll do this and then walk over to my husband and back over to me to alert him of the fact that something is wrong with me. Yes, my dog woke me up from a seizure once by licking my face and nudging me. So heartwarming. Relevant story. That makes me look like a raging alcoholic even though that's only partially correct. Passed out drunk as frick in my living room one time. Not sure if I started out on the couch or if I just hit the floor from the start, but I woke up lying spread eagle on the living room floor. I have this young green cheek conure named Wilson whose cage is located about 5 feet from where my head was. We had a direct line of sight when I awoke, and as I lay there trying to collect myself and not vomit, Wilson decided it was an excellent time to play a game. Now, we have a routine. If Wilson chirps at me in a non-pain in the butt manner, I will respond with a whistle and we will go back and forth making noises at one another until he gets too excited and I will take him out of the cage to play and run around. So, as I'm lying there with my head splitting in two, Wilson starts chirping at me. I knew what the response was, but when I tried to whistle, Hallucithericum sevomit, so I didn't. I lay there, perfectly still, trying not to turn into a human fountain, and Wilson kept going. Chirp, chirp chirp, squeak, squeak 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 squeak. It was his version of Stewie's mommy thing. He sat there having a mini freak out, getting more and more upset that I wasn't responding in our usual fashion. I don't think this was concern related so much as it was omjiabrakathroutini and I don't know what I am going to macanois until yearaspin related. He's a bit of a drama queen. I lay there, still trying to stifle the vomit and feeling very badly for neglecting the bird, and something hit me in the nose, then something else. I look up, and something pings off my forehead. What the heck? Wilson was sitting in his cage throwing sunflower seeds at me. I lay there borderline comatose while he continued throwing seeds at me for another 5 minutes or so, until I mustered up the strength to stand and weave my way into the bathroom. TLDR. If a hangover experience goes to show, my bird will probably sit there and throw sunflower seeds at my corpse. My friend's dog goes into a frenzy if you pretend to be drowning in his pool. He'll run around the pool 3 or 4 times and then, for reasons unbeknownst to me, will just start crapping. He is not a smart dog. I was wrestling with my border collie and he kinda nicked me with his tooth. So I pretended that he killed me and played dead. He started to whine and licked me trying to revive me while acting pretty troubled for killing his master. I had to give it up after about 20 seconds because I felt bad. I tried this out a few more times and he would have none of it. Probably hasn't forgiven me. The boy who cried collie. Not my dog. Also not actually playing dead, but sort of related. I had a friend with a dog who always slept on his dog bed in the hallway. Periodically, during the night, he would get up and check in on all of the sleeping members of the family, 2 parents and 3 kids, regardless of where they were sleeping. If they were in the house, he would find them, walk in the room, listen for them breathing, and leave. Cool dog. Me and my conure have our own little language of chirps and clucking noises. We can do this back and forth forever. When I pretended to die, she flew over to me and tried to talk me awake with her little, adorable chirpy noises. Felt so bad I gave her a strawberry. I did not know a human being could become so close to a bird. That makes me want to adopt one. Don't know if my cat would approve though. My cat awakens me from a coma on a regular basis. I am an extremely heavy sleeper. By patting me gently on the arm. If I ignore her, she will tap harder and eventually tap me with her claws out, resorting to actually digging her claws in until she gets some kind of reaction. One time I was sleeping on my back and woke up with a start to see my cat with her face right in my face. Her eyes completely dilated like she was in crazy hunter mode. I'd been sick with a bad cold that week, so I actually woke up wheezing and had a massive coughing fit wherein I brought up a bunch of phlegm and had to take several deep breaths to recovery. I am wondering if I had stopped breathing in my sleep and she had come to investigate. Oh my god. I too have awoken to my cat giving me that dilated eye look before. It's the creepiest thing in the world. My friends joke that she plots to kill me. I don't doubt them. I have 2 cats, so they probably wouldn't notice anything until the litter box was dirty or they wanted more food water. Husband, however, would probably be just like Arp's dog. Husband here, yup. I don't lay on the floor and pretend to die, but I do like to go underneath my blankets and hold myself inside, all the while screaming bloody murder and moaning like I'm hurt. My boxer will freak out and try to rip through the blankets to save me. It's the cutest thing ever, and whenever I come out she just looks at me with those big brown eyes, and I can just see how glad she is that I'm alive and unharmed. I then like to cuddle and give her a treat for torturing her so. This is the most adorable mental movie I've ever watched. 5 stars. Would imagine again. I tried this recently with my dog. I completed the scenario by leaving my mouth slightly open and trying very hard not to breathe. She sniffed at me for a few seconds and then shoved her holding muzzle into my mouth and started trying to seemingly lick my tonsils. I refer to myself as dad when speaking to my dog. That is, just wait till your dad gets home and sees what you've done. So I promptly sat up and said rather loudly, "Or, get your tongue out of my mouth." Dad would not approve. Our neighbor still looks at me strangely. TL. DR. Played dead. Dog attempted to make out with me. Neighbor may suspect incest. My dog is about 10 months old now, and when I play dead I make a sound as if I'm choking to death and then fall to the ground. He's usually worried and walks away in fear or lies right next to me. When I get up he is relieved and happy, yet still falls for it every time. You monster. Mine licked my face for roughly a minute then proceeded to crap on the floor. Not sure if there's a correlation there or if she really needed to go. I pretended to be dead and my dog came over and sniffed my ear, pawed at my hand and then went back to his bed. One time I had a fever of 104 and he was jumping on the side of the bed. He's too short to jump up and couldn't wake me. He started running around barking like crazy until he got my dad's attention. I would always play dead in front of Daisy, my mutt of a dog, and I would pull out all the stops too, clenching my chest, breathing hard, gasping for air, crying. I would put on a full Oscar-worth performance. She would usually just sniff around me and walk off. What a heartless bee. Daisy doesn't think you're as talented as you do. I have 2 dogs. The older one comes over and licks my face a few times then tries to nudge her head in between my face and arm. The younger one runs back and forth barking before coming over and begins to paw me in the ribs. I lie on the ground. 4-month-old pup comes to see me, only to find me dead. Pup starts sniffing my whole body. Then, when he realizes I'm not dead, he then proceeds to jump on top of me for 2 minutes. When he settles, he then sits down on my face. Last week I was at work and jumped out of the cab of my skid steer to start shoveling some stuff into the bucket, but as I hit the ground I fell into a hole and rolled my ankle. I fell over in pain and rolled around for a bit in agony and my dog comes running up and happily starts licking my face. I couldn't shoo him away because both hands were putting pressure on my ankle, so I laid there for a few minutes with my dog licking my face and playfully biting my arm thinking I'm playing with him. He's the sweetest dog ever, but I bet if I ever got seriously injured or died that he'd think I was just playing. My cats beep me with their nose and whiskers on my face while I sleep and act like gargoyles. I imagine they would be just as annoying if dead. I believe the term is boop. There are stories of dogs starting to chew their owner's face off after like 3 hours of them being dead. If you manage to play dead for 3 hours, prepare to be eaten. There are also stories of dogs spending hours to days guarding their dead master's corpses. Try not to be a crappy master. My dog starts to cry a little bit, not because he thinks I am dead, but because he wants attention. He starts barking if I go too far and I eventually feel so sorry for him that I can't do it anymore. I think the dog knows you're not dead. If you were really hurt or in distress it probably wouldn't hump you as a response, but maybe it would. Could be a DMHS type situation for the canine. My cat sniffs me, climbs up onto my body and walks around, gets down and pokes at my face or arms with his claws. If I don't react, he climbs back up on me and goes to sleep. He would probably eat me if I were actually dead. My big dog smells me and lays next to me. My small dog licks and nibbles on my face here so I can never go too long w him lol. My dog jumped on me and licked me for a while, before eventually becoming uninterested and accepting my death. My cat, as usual, stared blankly and then walked away. That be. My dad was eating a lobster salad for lunch, and our 4 dogs were roaming the kitchen. He choked and passed out on the floor. 2 dogs jumped on the table and ate his salad while the other 2 ate the food out of his mouth. Luckily he was found by my brother who promptly saved his life. I'm assuming if he had died, they'd just meander around and look for other falling corpses to eat from. I have a pet pig who barks. He barks anytime my BF or I am near the windows closest to his enclosure or when he hears us. The little bastard even gets crazy when he hears our refrigerator door opening. So we find joy in messing with him. We will bark like vicious dogs from around the corner of the house and the hairs on the back of his neck will raise as he looks around. When he's eating we'll bang on a wall and watch him spin around. I have tried playing dead while gardening near him and what dare no, he couldn't care less. I guess that's what we get for pranking him. I wasn't playing dead, but one time when I was trying to sleep my cat came up to me and tried to stick its tongue in my ear. Whenever I'm on the floor for some reason, such as playing dead, my pug has to come over and lick my nostrils. Everyone thinks it's disgusting, but frankly, I haven't had a sinus infection in a long time. I jerk off on a daily basis and have never had a sinus infection. I feel that if I owned your dog my nose would be unstoppable. Whenever I lay on the group my rescue lab just runs up and jumps on me because she thinks we are playing. I did a similar thing to what you did and all she did was drop the soccer ball on my and stand on me. I think I need to stage a more elaborate death if I want to confuse her. I am proud to say that once I did this outside while playing ball, and my dog sat by my side and howled like heck. It only worked that one time, though. Yeah, and my better fish. He was so sad, like he swam around and then I swear I heard him say my name, but no, fish don't give a crap. Peanut, my 4-year-old Yorkie mix whines and circles around my body wondering why I'm doing something so weird. Chip, my newly adopted 4.5-year-old mini dachshund tries to worm his way under my face chin, because he thinks it's the perfect cuddle time. He's just gotta work hard enough for it. My kitten lays on my neck. My 90-pound collie dog lays on my neck, chest against my face. My pets want to be sure that I am dead. I pretended to have a heart attack and slumped against the back of the couch gasping and grunting before finally falling to floor dead. She sniffed me frantically for a bit, then she pulled off my sock and ran away with it. One time, my dog was sniffing me and nudging me with his nose, trying to get me up. When I sat up he wagged his tail and fell over due to overexcitement. My brother used to have stuffed raccoon. I would hold it at my neck as if it was eating me and dramatically pretend to fight it off until I fall over. My dog would jump around and bark and frantically go in circles around me. Weirdly, he never attacked the raccoon, so in real life he'd have been no help. My dog gives my head a bath, or that's what I think he's doing. I'd lie flat on the floor, He'd walk over to my head, sniff my hair for a few seconds, then lick my hair and roll onto his side and rub his back against my hair. And yes, I am sure he is not trying to hump me. I was playing with my budgie one day, then I decided to play dead. She started biting my nose until it hurt. Did you know that if all the trenches built in World War I were laid end to end, it would be 25,000 miles long? Just tried it with my dog. She stuck her face really close to mine and started wagging her tail, thinking I was going to jump up and surprise her and chase her around the house, which happens a lot. Then when I didn't respond, she started barking. Then she got really nervous and started pacing and crying. Then I pet her for a good 15 minutes and I still feel like a monster for making my dog cry. Just tried. He started baying the most mournful, haunting howl. Then he knocked the phone off the hook and I swear he tried dialing it with his snout. When that didn't work, he went to the bedroom and pulled a blanket off the bed and tried to cover me with it. Then he stood on me and started repeatedly pressing down on my chest with his paws. My dog doesn't try to help me, he just either quietly mourns me or worse, jumps on me and stops me getting back up. I got jumped once while walking my dog and the dog was the main reason I went down due to him snatching at my legs. Which is mildly upsetting because he is a highly intelligent dog and he knows dang well he should go home and get help. When the kitten got out, he came and got me and led me to her. But if I play dead, he just stands next to me with his tail between his legs. It's funny though, he guilt trips massively if he thinks he hurt you. I used to occasionally fall to the ground with a gasp of pain while playing with him. His reaction is always priceless. Drop to the ground next to you, check you for injuries, lick your chin and silently beg forgiveness with his eyes. Meanwhile, my cat just sits on my chest and stares intently into my eyes or face. I think she's hoping to siphon off my soul as it leaves my body. Tried this with my pug. He immediately snuggled as close as he could, happy to have a cuddle buddy on the floor with him. I did this and my cat sat next to her food bowl for 5 minutes, waiting for me, before getting bored and walking off. Cats are assholes. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.